It's important to talk about grammatical relations here and also to discuss how these grammatical relations may contribute to the understanding of meaning in a language. Grammatical categories such as verb, tense, aspect, and voice, they are closely interlinked, and a change in their order, they are put in a certain order in order to make a grammatically correct or comprehensible sentence. But when we change their order, the meanings may also be changed. For example, if you change an active voice sentence into a passive voice sentence, the meaning would be changed. If you look at the example here, John plays the piano, may be changed or is used. The piano is played by John. So this change has occurred because of the change of the order. We have a grammatical relation of transitivity here, which is the relationship between subject and the object primarily. And this relation where it exists may be reversed in the voice. Transformation in such situation occurs where the categories not only affect one element, which is verb, but also affect the whole sentence. And we can look another example. He ate food is changed into food was eaten by him. So we have seen that whole sentence form is not changed, though the main participants may remain the same semantically, but grammatically the sequence or the order of the words has changed. Subject and object are usually identified by the order of words in a sentence. Subject is something which precedes a verb, whereas object is something which comes after a verb. In the examples in front of you, she laughed, and the object follows the verb. She killed a snake. A snake can be seen as an object, whereas in the first example, she laughed. She can be seen as the subject. We have direct and indirect object variation in traditional grammar also. If you look at the example in front of you, John gave David a book. In this example, we can see that book is a direct object, whereas David is an indirect object. David can be this indirect object. David may be a subject in a different sentence form. For example, David was given a book by John. So in this sentence, David becomes the subject. So change of words or the change of the order of the words may change the meaning and may change the rules, grammatical rules of various words in similar sentences. We have transitive and intransitive verbs. Also, transitive verbs are those which take verbs after them, which take objects after them, whereas intransitive verbs are those which are without objects. For example, he ate food is here. Ate is a transitive verb here because it takes an object of food here. In comparison, he laughed. The laughed is not a transitive verb. It's intransitive because it doesn't take any object after it. So we can summarize there that voice is quite closely related to the grammatical categories, and it also decides about the transitivity of various verbs also. We may have some verbs which may be both transitive and intransitive in different situations. For example, the words like ring, open, close, stop, break. John rang the bell, or the bell rang. In the first example, you can see that the verb rang is transitive because it takes an object of the bell. And in the second example, the bell rang. The rang is not transitive because it doesn't take any object after it. Similarly, we have examples: I stopped the car and the car stopped. Causativity is another grammatical relationship which tells us about an entity or about an actor which becomes the reason of doing an action. If you look at the example here, John rang the bell, is to be or may possibly be interpreted as that John caused the bell to ring. So the entity of or the actor John uh, is causing something to happen, is causing bell to ring. So he may be interpreted as the cause of the action. Finally, let's have a look at these sentences and try to create sentences based on the understanding of causativity. And in the second, where there are blanks, we have to fill in these blanks in a way that we are able to interpret the relation of causativity here. For example, the first sentence is, I made him prepare the lesson. So what is being caused here? What action is being, or what outcome is being caused here? We could assume that by saying I made him prepare the lesson, probably I caused him to pass the exam, I caused him to prepare the lesson. This could be the possible outcome. I taught him English, I caused him to learn English. I let the chicken burn in the stove, and I caused the chicken to cook. This is how we can explain the relationship of causativity.